What is up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my own new review of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right, it is now day 2 in Grenada. This is supposed to be the energy of renewing. Okay, Drew and Portia were actually cordial towards the end of last week's episode. They were laughing and giggling with one another. So it looks like it's a good sign. But when they got to their hotel, Britt ended up throwing up. Okay, she took a corset off and everything. She's walking to her room, one arm holding her titty, the other arm holding her corset because it was just busting out. Okay, she just cannot handle tequila shots. We're now getting to the next morning. Everybody's waking up, talking to their significant other, and they really are playing in Angela's face right now. Okay, we know that Angela is missing her husband because she wasn't able to celebrate their anniversary. She did call him on their anniversary, but he was too busy to pay any attention to her because he was cooking for their daughter. um if you are on a FaceTime call, then you're just gonna have to bite the bullet and move around. But Charles, you cannot be that busy that you can't put headphones on and multitask and have a conversation with your wife while cooking for your daughter. Like, you're not that busy that you cannot hold a conversation while cooking. Like, I don't like that, Charles. That really bugs me. That everything that Angela does is a bother to you. But it's like y'all trying to force a moment that we're seeing Angela be in La La Land, that she is not in a happy marriage with her husband, because we see flashes of her in confessional saying they're falling in love with one another. She's very happy, but we're seeing the opposite. We're seeing the scene where she's trying to call him and the phone just keeps on ringing and ringing and ringing. Like, she's called him about a good 5 times when that could have been just one call. They just kept on repeating to look as if he does not want to be bothered with her. And I don't like that. Y'all too busy trying to keep that narrative going that this man is cheating on her, and it's not cool. So everybody headed to breakfast, and Kelly comes in loud as ever. And the first thing that Phaedra notices is that her nipples are showing. She was wearing this corset two-piece. She was wearing this crochet two-piece where she didn't have any nipple covers on. And this is something I've noticed in Kelly, but I've never said it in my review, but I'm saying it now. She wears a lot of tops that don't fit. And I feel like that's something she purposefully does. Wear shirts that are too small because she wants to have some type of exposure for her boobs to pop out at some point. There's got to be a side boob. There's got where we're already seeing your areola. It's everything in between. It's like, Kelly, girl, I know you short. I know you fun, but can you please wear shirts that fit, ma'am? I'm a big girl myself, okay? And I have a hard time keeping these girls in. You let them all hang out and be free. I no. But of course, it don't take nobody but Phaedra to constantly nitpick on the fact that Kelly is a tiny girl with big breasts, calling her a garden gnome and everything. And when Cynthia came into the kitchen, she checks in on Bread because she noticed that she threw up, and she said, "Yeah, no more tequila shots. Don't offer me no more tequila shots. Tequila shots does not work for me." I honestly love taking shots of Patron more than tequila. That's me. Um, so then Shamia comes out in this cute little colorful jumpsuit number. She still doesn't have her luggage, but she's still giving looks, okay? She said that in her carry-on, she had about 3 outfits. So now when discovering when her luggage will actually return, they can't find it now. I don't have time for those types of problems where you can't find my shit. I think I'll just stick with a carry-on now on. I guess I won't do a whole suitcase. I'll just stuff everything in one bag. But what is she gonna do about the underwear situation? So when she was asked in the confessional, she said, "I'm just gonna be bare naked. I'm gonna bear it all." Shamia, that's not cute. And then you're in Grenada. I'm sure there is a mall, there's an outlet, there is somewhere where you can go and get you a pack of underwear. There's got to be a Target in Grenada where there's a 5 for 20 deal. Like, you cannot act so stranded that you can have outfits but not have underwear. I'm no, ma'am. No, 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 no. I just don't like that. Like, why are you acting so stranded and helpless? I no. So Drew comes in and Angela comes in, and Phaedra just continues to shade everybody, especially Drew, Kelly, and Angela and Britt. And then she's talking about Drew's outfit, giving Pebble Flintstone because it was all green and everything. I'm like, girl, we're in Grenada. We're on an island. Why are you constantly clocking me on my outfits? And Drew's outfits were not bad. I don't know what the fuck you got on, Phaedra. Ugh. So we're dividing the group. That's what they're always doing whenever they are taking a trip anywhere. They're always dividing the group. Why can't y'all have one big group activity where your guys are all enjoying one another? You guys are experiencing everything together. Why split? Anyway, one half of the group is going towards a waterfall. The other half is going to a cooking class with Kelly. Cooking with Kelly. Cooking with Kelly. And as Kelly was explaining the activity, she was a bit loud. And Phaedra was like, oh my God, she is so damn loud. She's like a garden gnome and Tinkerbell all messed up together. Like, why are you so tiny but so damn loud? And I have to admit, Kelly has been annoyingly loud, where I'm like, girl, inside voice, please. But then I recognize I can be loud sometimes, but I'm not that damn loud. I recognize when I can be too loud a little bit. But for me, it's like you can't judge her on being tiny when you're a midget yourself, Phaedra. Oh my God, you're really bugging me with you being a confessional gangster and just talking cash shit about these ladies who you don't even know. Anyway, so Cynthia doesn't mind the loud talking. She doesn't want no over talking. She wants to hear what the other person has to say so it can be resolved. Because these ladies do have a habit of over talking one another. So Kelly wanted to know, did the crystal not work last night? Obviously not, Kelly. Britt said, I thought it worked until it didn't because I had the floor, but nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. So Shamia wanted to come in and put all the attention as to why it was so awkward for Britt to mention Apollo because that wasn't a topic of conversation. Because Mia because Shamia wanted to make sure the topic of conversation was to stay on Drew, on who she was dating, because we still need to know, is she dating Black? So because you didn't follow the assignment, Britt, you brought up a whole different topic that nobody really wasn't hearing, that nobody really wanted to get into, nobody really wanted to hear you speak about. But Britt said, you don't get to tell me what I can and cannot discuss. Because if I wanted to clear something up, that's what I wanted to do. And if the purpose of what the crystal was, and I have to agree with Britt. I cannot believe that I have to agree with Britt almost throughout this entire episode. Because Shamia, if the purpose of the talking crystal was to address any issues you have with somebody, and Britt decided to clear up her issue that she didn't want to have with Phaedra by mentioning that Apollo was invited to her event, I don't want no smoke, that's what she did. So Britt wasn't wrong for using exactly what the purpose of the crystals. You, however, got mad because it wasn't what you wanted in the moment. Because you want to still do Portia's dirty work and still have a problem with Drew for some odd reason. Because right here, right now, you're doing way too much to want to constantly nitpick at who Drew is dating as if that's any of your business. So Drew is like, why is everybody so concerned about who I'm dealing with when nobody is recognizing the energy between Shamia and Britt? Because even Drew did feel some type of way about why Apollo was even mentioned, but then you flipped it back to me. I'm like, oh, I was with you till you went there. What's the purpose? Why are we here? So as the ladies leave, they have to wait for Portia. They get into their Sprinter vans. Now Shamia is in the van talking about her interaction with Britt. She was like, was I trying to read her? I wasn't trying to read her. But Shamia also is giving a confused look because she's wondering why she's receiving all of this defensive energy from Britt. But it's you though, Shamia. You're coming across very passive aggressive to her. And then we go to the night before where Britt says she was nauseous from all those tequila shots and she doesn't want nobody to offer her any more shots. You took it and said, okay, we'll still take our shots. We'll offer you one. You just won't have to drink it. She wasn't defensive. She didn't go back and forth with you. You understood why. So I don't see how you're switching it as you receiving snippy energy. Even in the interaction right here in the kitchen, you got mad that she changed the conversation and you didn't want it to be changed because you wanted to still be involved in doing Portia's dirty work and still make it about Drew. And I'm tired of it. Because since it wasn't going your way, you want to now make it a problem with everything that Britt wants to say. And that's not cool, Shamia. That's fake as fuck. Because continuing on, she mentions about feeling some type of way about Britt's lack of donation. We all know she pulled up to Shamia's house with 3 packs of Charmin Ultra and some sanitary napkins and lied to say that Mike is bringing in more things and he never brought any more things. So she did have a conversation with her and she wanted her to give more because you can't present yourself to be this boss bitch driving a Rolls Royce. So she wanted her to give a monetary donation. She sent her a $250 cash app. But that still was not enough of Shamia. She still is upset about it. So of course, Phaedra is in the back, is like, oh my God, $250. I believe if you're a part of this group, you're in this sector, you don't give no more than 1,000, right? But Cynthia asked Shamia, how did her best friend feel? Did her best friend say something to her about it? But all Shamia said was Kelly agreed with her. That's not what was asked, though. How did Kelly feel? Did Kelly say anything to Britt? Did Kelly pull Britt to the side and wonder why she gave such a lackluster donation and that she wanted her to give more? Did she have that conversation, or did she stay quiet and follow behind you so you could be the one to address it, not her? And then my other question is, was there a specific goal in mind as to what Shamia and Kelly wanted to give to the people of Grenada? Because if y'all didn't have a goal, then y'all can get mad about how somebody wanted to give. On the other hand, I do agree. You are a part of the Housewives level and you're presenting yourself to be this boss bitch. You are buying $500,000 cars. You are flaunting a 10-carat ring. There should not even be a question as to how much you're willing to put in for a donation, right? But I just feel like Shamia is making it bigger than what it is, and I'm tired of her doing it. So Phaedra is in the back, purposefully saying Drew's name incorrectly. She's saying Drusilla. Is it Drusilla, right? I'm just trying to get to know everybody. The only person I've ever heard with the name Drusilla was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay, there was an old ancient vampire named Drusilla. So I don't understand why she keep on purposefully mispronouncing Drew's name, as if that's a hard name to say. Portia did not want to laugh at the insult of her saying Drew's name incorrectly because she wants to move forward with her, but she also tells Shamia that she is owed an apology for her being called a lap dog. And I don't agree, because if she wants to continue to act like a lap dog, fetch the bone, fetch the ball, beg for treats, she'll continue to act like one. Now, Portia said to Shamia, she said it to you because she believes that you are beneath me, and that's how she views you, and that's not how I view you. To be honest, though, Portia, that's exactly how you view her, because where would that even come from? Why would you say she views you as you're beneath me? That's how you feel about her. Remember? You have been a shitty friend to her all this time. I feel like because since Shami is coming in as an official housewife, you're not accepting her role. You want her to play the background like she's always done. You want her to still stay in her lane and defend you on your bullshit. Moving on. But Shamia, please don't ever get in your feelings when somebody calls you a lapdog, because that's what you continuously show up as. Okay, Lassie? Now she wants to say that whenever she mentions Drew's name, people say, Drew who? I would rather be a lapdog than be forgettable. And that is why you are stuck in that space. You'll never be considered more than a lapdog. That is why you're going to be stuck in that space where people are going to only recognize you as Portia's sidekick, Portia's mouthpiece, Portia's guard dog, Portia's mutt. That's what they'll keep on calling you, okay? Saying that you'd rather be a lapdog than forgettable. What type of stupid shit is that to say, Shamia? That sounds stupid as hell. That came out of your damn mouth. And let's be clear, Shamia, we can go back to every single role that Drew has had since she's been on television. She played herself on The Game. She played T-Boss on The Crazy Sexy Cool Story, where all you did was say you're carrying Dallas's baby. She is now a full-time artist where her album has ranked number 5. She's now going on tour. Where is your tour? Is your album completed? You bragged about working with RL from Next, but is that still going? Like, Shamia, let's not play. We're not about to discredit every single thing that Drew has done as her career as an actress, as a singer, before she came on Housewives. That's what we're not going to do, okay? Moving on. Phaedra, still talking cash shit about these ladies she doesn't really know because she's trying to get a feel about everybody. But in the Sprinter van with Angela, Drew, Britt, and Kelly, they're all saying how dope she is, how fun she is. She says she can't get a good read on Angela, but in the same breath says she knows her husband, Charles, because she's mentioning how he was when she was around him. He was fun. He was a life of the party, but she has not been around him in about 10 years and didn't know him to be married. And to say that she has not really been out on the scene like that. So that's the reason why you didn't know. You have not been around him. You have not been in his circle. Since you have not been in his circle, you wouldn't have known that he was married. But why do you keep on putting it out there that you didn't know that he was married? Why is everybody making it seem as if Angela is not aware of the fact that her husband does not want her? He has been cheating on her. Everybody knows how he gets down. She doesn't know how he gets down. Why are y'all putting so much emphasis on that? And why are we going off of Phaedra? Like, Phaedra is not to be trusted with anything that she says. Like, girl, please. So, as the ladies arrive into their destination to partake in the waterfall, they were greeted by a man who was outside holding a monkey. And out of nowhere, Phaedra says she don't do monkeys. Monkeys are racist. Okay, weird. Where did that come from? And I've only have known for monkeys to throw their poop at you if you go to the zoo. So that's something to be worried about. But as far as monkeys being racist, for someone who's supposed to be so damn smart, sounds so dumb and sounds so controversial at the same time, because you do realize that in our history of being black, we were called monkeys. That was a term against us to hurt us. But then again, you got to think about it. This woman said in her confessional last week that she has a fetish for little people and that she wants to kidnap them and trap them down to her dungeon. I don't know. Is Phaedra trying to relive her glory days of having iconic punchlines in her confessional? Because right now it's becoming weird, it's becoming crass, and it's like we need to think twice about being alone with Phaedra. Because it's like, are you okay? Like, I don't understand it. Back with the ladies, when they made it to their cooking excursion, they actually were doing it at a historical home that was built in 1932, and they are the owners of a black owned distillery. They are the creators of the spice rum they will be drinking, and their home was affected by the hurricane, but it's still standing, and that's why it's their mission to get things back up and running so they can still handle business. As they're about to start cooking, we get a glimpse of how the men look, and the men are fine and chocolatey and full bearded in Grenada. Okay, I mean, Kelly and Drew were the first to make themselves seen, while Brett and Angela were in the back. Yeah, they're married, but they're not blind. They can see how fine these men are. That we can look, but we can't touch. Okay. And the way they were preparing the meal, it looked absolutely delicious. Okay. And this is up Kelly's alley because she is the owner of a restaurant. So she loves learning new recipes and taking in different cultures. Back with the ladies at the waterfall, it looked gorgeous. It looked very healing. It looked like a very rejuvenated experience. And they were all bikinis out, buns out. All the ladies looked gorgeous, right? But Shami was feeling a little bit insecure because she wished she could have wore a one piece because she doesn't believe that her body is two piece ready. And I know we are our biggest critics. We can see that our bodies are not ready to wear certain outfits, but other people can tell us we look gorgeous and we don't believe them. But Shamia, seeing the way your body was in those photos, you looked absolutely gorgeous. Don't ever sell yourself short to not believe that you don't have a gorgeous body. I know you think that comparing yourself to Portia, how Portia's body is all toned, don't ever think you can't get to that point. You're gorgeous no matter what you do or don't do, okay? Back with the ladies, as they were getting their bowls and getting ready to eat, I noticed that Britt didn't have a bowl because she can't eat beef or pork. It's been about 30 years since she's had any, and she can't even handle it if it's mixed in with the vegetables, the juices of meat mixed in with vegetables. She can't handle it. It makes me look at Kelly sideways because why didn't you make sure that your friend had the option to still taste the flavors of Grenada without having meat in it? Now, I know a lot of people felt like it was her karma of how it would feel to be starving because she didn't feed everybody at her event. But Kelly, you should not have brought that type of pettiness to Grenada. You should have still looked out for your friend in that moment. But this is where I'm also seeing Kelly remove herself from being friends with Britt right here. So while everyone was eating, Britt talks about how this trip has been refreshing. She knows she's had the most friction with Angela and Drew, and they have made amends. Angela agrees. She did not have to call her a whore today, so she's good with her. Back with the ladies at the waterfall, Phaedra says she is getting to know Britt. She thinks she is super sweet, but thought it was weird she brought up Apollo. And I just can't take the faces that Phaedra is making. And she's like, I don't know why Apollo was brought up. I wasn't invited to the event, but I don't think she had malicious intent. But let's not get it twisted though, Phaedra. You did lead the cast trip on Married to Medicine once, realizing Apollo was coming, even though you knew he was coming, and then all the drama have carried out. You wanted to remove yourself from the show, from the ladies, because you wanted to be back on RHOA, and you like, I'm not going to have a repeat of that. But this is why Britt wanted to bring it up. She wanted to make sure that there wasn't no messy intentions behind it. She did not want no story circulating around the fact that she brought up Apollo and that she invited Apollo so that way she can have an issue with you. That's what she didn't want to have. Okay, so Portia brings up that Britt has said she has not felt supported by the girls. Even though they showed up to a horrible ass event, in her confessional, Portia says she has not made the effort of getting to know them. We just met you, so we really don't know you. And it's not like you are giving us, you want us to get to know you. You're not giving us, you have the effort in wanting to get to know us. And I feel like that's what Britt expected. Since she is a part of this Housewives realm, she assumed it would have been a development of a great friendship, but she forced it. She expected it to happen out of the gate, and it didn't happen. So back with the girls and Kelly, Kelly decides to be stupid by pointing up a black napkin like it's some show and tell shit to ask the kids, what color is this, kids? But she wants it to direct it to Drew by asking her, do you know who this is? Are you dealing with somebody named Black? And I'm like, really, Kelly? Such corniness, such lameness that you're now subduing yourself to being Shamia's lapdog and doing her dirty work to still bring up the conversation about who Drew is dating. Why are we still going on about this? Why does this still need to be a topic of conversation? Can y'all find something else to discuss besides Drew dating life? And it's the same thing with Portia and the rest of the girls. They still want to bring up who Black is, whether or not she's dating him, even though Drew tells her that's just her friend. Then she wants to say, well, there's videos of them hanging out, there's photos of them hanging out. Like it's not a secret. But who said it was? Nobody said it was a secret. She has admitted to have dated other people. She has admitted she's out there in the dating world, but she is not in a serious relationship right now because she is going through a divorce that you guys are aware of, and that the man that she's going through divorce is a loose cannon. He's a nutcase. He will use anything against her. And lo and behold, that's what has transpired this past week. For what took place last week and now what took place in the past episode, he has gone on social media to reveal photos of Drew and Ty, revealing text messages of her and Ty, as well as messages between her and Black. It's like this man just won't stop. Like you guys are literally harming her in this case. You guys are harming her and how she'll handle this divorce. And you guys are just not catching it right now. This man will do anything he can to paint her out to be a vindictive, horrible person. And why is it any of your business? And why is it such a topic of conversation that you guys just have to get to the bottom of? As it this has been something that Drew has been lying about this entire time when this hasn't been the case. This was something that Portia and Shamia created to have something to talk about. Now I'm done with it. And Kelly, I don't understand you. Why are you now so involved in this when you didn't want to get to know Drew for yourself? You follow behind how Shamia has experienced Drew. You said she's nothing but a liar because you have not gotten a chance to get to know her for yourself. And the way that you guys are going back and forth with telling her, so is it friends with benefits? Is it this? Are you getting some? Is it this? Is it that? It's like you trying to trip her up into saying something else when she has nothing else to say. She's just hanging out, getting to know people, creating friendships. Have there been flirtatious conversations? Yes, that's it. That's all. Move on, please. And Kelly, why aren't you making it like, and Kelly, why do you have so much to say about who she fucking? Who are you fucking? Are you getting some? Because you keep on talking about getting happy endings and massages and shit. Is you getting some as well? Because you have not mentioned nothing else about your divorce. You have not mentioned how you're going to navigate getting back into the dating world. And I just don't like the fact that she's trying to make light and make it funny for Drew when she's dealing with a narcissistic man who will use anything he can against her, just like what you're dealing with, though, Kelly. She's living in hell like you were living in hell. You were crying in your closet. You dealt with physical abuse in your marriage. You dealt with infidelity. So why you want to laugh and smile and criticize Drew over what she's dealing with? Like that's not cool whatsoever. Can this be the last time y'all mention this shit? Because, like she said, if I was in a relationship with somebody that I'm very happy to be with, I would shout it to the mountaintops. But I am not because I do want to be in love again. I do want to be married again, but I cannot open that door right now because I am going through a divorce. Do y'all hear that? Do y'all understand that? Okay. So they leave their locations to head back to the house because they will be having dinner with the prime minister. Because of their donations they have sent to Grenada, the prime minister wants to thank them personally. Then we see a moment between Shamia and Portia being goofy, laughing, talking about blowing each other booty holes. And Shamia is just so happy she got her master back. Her master picked her up from her kennel, and she is so excited to fetch for treats, play with her master, and everything in between. And I just found it to be very sad that this is all Shamia wanted. But at the same time, Shamia, you're still at the same time, Shamia, you're not going to get the real friendship you are expecting out of Portia. While you have funny moments, shady moments with her, it's never going to be what you want it to be because she's not going to show up for you the way you want her to. So everybody's getting ready to get head out to. So everybody starts to get dressed. Angela finally makes it through FaceTime to talk to Charles, but he's so blasé, he actually looks bothered that she called him. She's like, "You don't miss me? You don't want to talk to me? You don't want to ask me how my day went? Like, can you give me some comfort? Because I am here with the girls, but I'm not feeling happy because I have not spent time with you. We have not celebrated our anniversary. Like, you're not giving me the inkling that you miss me." He's like, "Yeah, I miss you. Or go ahead, have fun, good time, and then come back home." It's like, give me something. Okay? Can you leave me with something? He said, "Don't get into it with anybody." Okay, that's it. Like, Charles, come on. Like, I really do feel like Charles has not really been comfortable being on camera. And I do feel like he's not going to play along with Angela's game on presenting a happy marriage on camera because that's not what he wants to do. He's a mean and surly old man that is stuck in his ways. He's not going to change his ways. But it's like you're giving a lot of people a whole lot of conversations about whether or not you love Angela, you like her, or that you just are out here doing other things with other women and she's just stuck in la la land. I just don't like it. But I have felt like Angela knows who Charles is. She's been with him the longest. She knows how he operates. But it's like even she was frustrated with how he's just not wondering about how he misses her. He's not expressing how much he misses her. He's not giving her that longing feeling that he enjoys talking to his wife. Like while my husband goes to work, he calls me throughout the day because he misses me. He wants to talk to me, and it could be about anything. That desire and that urge to want to talk to your partner, he's not showing that to Angela. And I feel sad for her. But anyway, we're moving on. I just didn't like that at all. That made me feel bad for Angela. So in the kitchen, Shamia is all shot o'clock, shot o'clock. She offers Cynthia one. Cynthia said, "I've never wanted to turn down shot tequila." And this is when Shamia became extremely passive aggressive towards Britt because she was like, "I don't want to pressure somebody into taking a shot. I don't want to be the one to pressure anybody." And it's like, who was pressured? Britt said she felt pressured. But it was a way that Shamia was just being very combative with her. It's like, okay, be on that shot o'clock energy, Shamia. Just don't be a bitch. Just don't make it an issue when somebody says, "I don't want to take one." Now, again, Britt, this is what you don't want to do. Can't nobody make you feel bad about not wanting to take a shot, and can't nobody pressure you into wanting to take a shot. If you know your limits, stand on that. So, Shamia, I don't like that you want to keep all that energy towards her over something so damn small because she said, "Don't offer me one," but you want to make it an issue. I can't stand that. She said, "Just keep declining, just keep declining. Everybody can keep declining." She's like, "Well, I don't want one now." And if you was to offer her one and she take it, I would throw it into the sink and fill it with water because I don't like when people try to peer pressure somebody into taking a shot when they don't want to because you feel a way about them saying, "Don't offer me one." Can't stand that shit. But then, Britt, you really got on my nerves with this by saying, "I don't have to take shots. We're not hood rats. We are ladies." Girl, the way you came across this entire season was definitely giving hood rat behavior. There was no lady in sight, okay? If you are a person who don't take shots, you are a person who don't take shots. It is okay, Britt. You put in class and all this and that third is not necessary. So when they arrived to dinner, they ordered their food. They all talked about their activities. Britt asked, "How was the waterfall?" The waterfall was amazing. And then they asked about the cooking class. Kelly, who I believe started the conversation about how you're supposed to give in regards to a donation, talking about the house that they went to was affected by Hurricane Beryl. And even though they weren't able to help them entirely, they were able to pull together to give them something. So she appreciates all the ladies for giving. And then Portia comes in, gives off her 2 cents by saying, "Us being women, we have done very well for ourselves, so we should give back." And then she made it known by saying she had $1,000 to donate. And that's when Shamia had the barrier put in her back to continue to be passive aggressive and throw all that shade towards Britt, because she said for us to be in a position to give back, this is when you do your big one. This is when it counts, because we can't all pull up in Rolls Royces and have Birkin bags and not give when it counts. And if anybody peeped her eye contact though, she was literally glaring at Britt the entire time while looking around, but really wanted to point at Britt because she wanted everybody to make sure who she was talking about. But that's some passive aggressive, scary ass shit though, Shamia. If you're going to address Britt, then address Britt. Don't go around the mulberry bush and have an inside joke with everybody and not let her know that she's the joke. So Britt said that felt a little shade. And here comes Shamia doing what she likes to do. Whenever she gets called out, she acts dumb, she acts confused, she deflects and say, "You thought I was being shady?" Yeah, I mean, you talked about Birkins and Rolls Royces, but you're not the only one who has one. I have one, she has one, she has one. But Shamia, we're not discussing what everybody else have. We're talking about how you're throwing shade at Britt and she's catching you on it, and you're not standing 10 toes down that you do have an issue with her. So this is what Shamia wants to do: change the tone of the conversation, catch Britt being aggressive for no reason because that's how we've been seeing her. But no, I am not seeing Britt doing anything more than catching you being passive aggressive, catching you throwing shade, and you're not admitting that you are throwing shade. You're avoiding eye contact. You're trying to change the tone of the conversation. You want to act confused and not be the girl who doesn't do fake friendships, the girl who said, "If I got something to say, I'll say it to your face, not behind your back." You're doing what you claim everybody else has been doing. You've been talking shit about her. You've been making jokes about her. Like, Shamia, you're not as upfront like you say you are. You're not about it like you say you are. You are all bark and no bite. And Kelly, this changed my mind about you entirely because you want to give off your 2 cents in to say that it wasn't the best donation and that maybe Britt is not aware in regards to how to give towards a donation, because if you're going to showcase to be that girl, you need to showcase in all aspects. While Kelly, you have a point in regarding how Britt has showed up this season. She has bragged about being that boss bitch. She's pretty and paid. She's flaunting a 10K ring. She's driving Rolls Royces. Yes, all that and then some. Well, we should not have questioned whether or not she doesn't have the funds. I mean, we kind of saw that for her Bare Naked event and everything in between. But Kelly, this was your best friend, was it not? Isn't that your friend? So for you to use that moment to embarrass her for not knowing how to properly give for a donation was not the right time. Because you're up in Shamia's ass and you're co-signing her bullshit with the way she's coming at Britt. I don't like that. It's giving flip-flopper. It's giving follower. It's making it more clear that what transpired between you and Britt was not on Britt. It was on you. So then we get to the conversation that Shamia and Britt had at Houston's about how much she donated and that maybe she should have donated a bit more. So Britt asked Shamia how much did she donate. Shamia says, "Donate how you feel." But what I didn't like was Shamia trying to calm Britt down like she was doing the most when she wasn't. She's been giving you energy like you are giving her energy. So because you can handle that she's clocking you about your energy and you're not standing 10 toes down on how you feel, you want to run away, you want to deflect, you want to change the tone to say, "Okay, see, you're doing too much. It's not necessary." No, 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 no. Don't do that. I'm meeting you where you are. That's what I'm doing. So Shamia did admit that she did tell Britt to give what she gave. Okay, so if she gave you the 250 along with her 3 pack of 2-ply and sanitary napkins, why are you still mad when you got what you asked for? Like I said, was there a number in mind you wanted her to reach? If it wasn't, she gave you what she wanted to give, then you need to let it go and not make it an issue. So I love that Britt said, "Don't tell me to calm down because I'm calling out you being passive aggressive." Now she says in her confessional that she didn't give enough and that she missed the mark, but don't be shocked because we're in Grenada. But that's the whole thing about her being shocked, though, Shamia, because you brought it to Grenada. If you had a conversation about how she needed to improve her donation and she did it, why bring it to Grenada to make it more of an issue like she didn't give you anything? If you didn't like her first donation, she gave you another donation, and yet you still want to make it seem as if she didn't give enough, then why accept her donation? Why not tell her, girl, I needed more? And I mean more, I mean maybe go back to Costco, get a whole bunch more toilet paper, and if you give me another $200, we can call it even. You did not direct her in how much you wanted her to give. That's my thing. This is you making a mountain out of a molehill, making it more of an issue because you don't like her donation. But my thing is this though, Shamia, because you gave all that you wanted to give, don't place that expectation on somebody else. If they gave what they wanted to give, then accept it. At least she gave something. If she didn't give nothing at all, then yeah, read her down. Talk about her. But if she gave something, then let it go. So because you're not standing on that, it's make you look like a bully. It's make you like a mean girl. And this is the one thing I feel like Shamia doesn't do. She does not direct her issue with somebody head on. She talks crap about them. She throws subliminals. And when she gets called out, she acts like she don't know where it came from. This is obviously a clear sign that you have done this to Portia. And what I mean by that is we have clearly see that she has spoken about Brit to these ladies. We have clearly see that she's had conversations. But yet when it's coming out, she wants to act like she'll know where it came from. She'll know how it got to this point. What have I done? What have I said? You said plenty. Just like how you said plenty to the ladies about Portia. But when it came down to the confrontation, you needed to have a Portia, you still was afraid. And Britt said, I'm the type of person, if you have a problem, you say it to my face. So once the prime minister leaves, they did have a little conversation about how easy he is on the eyes, and he's not married with kids. And then Britt said, I mean, there's a lot of men that I know that are married but don't wear their rings. And Angela, being honest and transparent, talks about how her husband doesn't wear his ring, and that's something that bothers her. And Portia wants to talk about how Angela has Tourette's. Like, why is she telling us all her business? Because we expected somebody to be open and honest in this group, Portia. For her to give us a real raw look in her mirrors that is not all sunshine and rainbows, I'm actually here for it. But I do want Angela to keep in mind, these ladies are not your friends, except for Drew. Okay? These ladies will use anything you say against you. And we're seeing that to this day. But, you know, there are a lot of men who don't wear their rings, but there are men who still showcase that they are married men without wearing their rings. But if it's something that your wife expressed to you that I want you to wear this as a sign of commitment, you should not fight it. Because she said she expressed it to him in therapy that I want you to wear your ring because it's important to me. It values how you feel about me. So the ladies also surprised Angela with the cakes of her anniversary. We know she's been feeling down. And even though she's out here working, but she does feel a bit lonely that she's not here celebrating with her husband. So feeling happy and supported that the ladies granted her with a cake. She is loving the sisterhood that is being presented. And I'm here for that as well. So once they leave, Britt didn't feel like she didn't get no resolve. Okay? And Portia said, I only brought it up so we can figure out how to support you. But it's like what Britt said, I never got to finish. And if we're not going to finish or we can move on, then why are we talking about it? But I love the way she shut Portia down because you brought it up in order for us to move forward, but yet you want to pause it and not leave me with the understanding we're going to move forward. So if you're not going to address me in all aspects about how we're going to move forward, then there's no need for us to talk. Like, don't mention things if we're not going to figure it out. Like, don't leave things in suspense. Like, I can't deal with that. Moving on. In the van with her, Phaedra, Angela, and Drew. She talks about it was weird energy between her and Shamia. She's never had any issues with her, and I never thought we were going to have a problem. But then as far as me not inviting nobody in my home, Portia never invited me anywhere. And Angela, you have not invited me nowhere. Drew, you have not invited me nowhere. I have not had the best relationship with you guys, but I haven't had no good relationship with Portia. For her to invite me anywhere. Now, Phaedra broke it down to Britt to get her to understand that you're putting yourself in that situation where a lot of people don't know how to move forward with you because you're always on go. You're always defensive. You're always reactionary. And being new to this group, you got to put yourself out there so you can show up friendly, you can show up inviting, so you can develop a bond with these ladies. First, I thought Britt understood what she meant because she said, I have to show up fake. In actuality, a little bit. But no, you got to offer somebody to your house. Bring out the welcome mat. Have a charcuterie board ready so you can have conversations. Be open, be honest, be you. Be authentically you. But you're making enemies for no reason, and that lets me know in the confessional, Phaedra received a heads up about how Britt has shown herself up this season, and they have not mentioned Kenya's name, because I think that's where they're starting it off from. The way you went after Kenya pretty much turned everybody off, which I have to agree. And I mean, I feel like Britt has been an avid watcher of Housewives, so I feel like she wanted to come in, be a firecracker like Kenya was, be ready to stir some shit up, be ready and ready to get everything out in the open so we can have those great moments, but also see the aftermath of everybody coming together, having this great friendship. But you weren't being you. You wanted to give up a persona of what you thought we wanted, and that's not what we want. We wanted you to be the real Brit Edie. You didn't have to flex and flaunt like you had it when you really didn't. Had you been more open and honest about your life and how transparent you were, we would have liked you. But you wanted to give us this persona that you were that girl when you weren't, and it turned us off. So in the other Sprinter van, Shamia gets a call from Gerald to let her know that their nurse or nanny or caregiver that was watching their daughter Shiloh has been let go, because apparently she left her in a room where it was freezing cold. She had no blanket, she had no pajamas on, and knowing her condition, her immune system is easily compromised because she was born with a lot of medical complications. And he's giving her a Tylenol. If her fever continues to rise, she's going to go to the doctor. Of course, Shamia goes into her confessional and lists all of her daughter's problems. She has a hole in her heart, fluid in her kidney, and if anything was to occur while she's under the weather, it can also prolong any type of sickness that can happen, and it won't be good. So, of course, she is instantly emotional. She gives us some news in her confessional that she didn't celebrate her daughter's first birthday because they didn't want her to get sick. So being here in this moment in Grenada, having a good time, to find out that her daughter is back home sick, she feels that she's failed as a mother. I failed as a mother, Shamia, but you cannot guarantee that anytime you're out of town, your daughter is not going to get sick. And you're going to have to wait until she feels better and when you're back home. So when they headed back to her room, she got in her robe and she just broke down crying. All the ladies came to rally around her. And we know she's feeling extremely guilty about her daughter's condition. So that is my question to you, Shamia. Is it worth it to put your body to try to have more children? I mean, you're dealing with a lot. You're dealing with a daughter who has medical complications. She's in need of constant care and attention. Can you handle that by adding a new baby in the mix? You said in the beginning of the season you want to complete your family. You want to give Gerald a son. I don't like the emphasis on that. I feel like you need to put a pause on IVF, put a pause on finding a surrogate, and need to put your attention on the children you already have. And I don't want her to feel bad that anytime she wants to find something for herself or she thinks she deserves a break, that she always makes herself feel guilty whenever there's something wrong with her child and she's not there to fix it. You have a husband who is very much aware of his daughter's condition. You have parents who are aware of their granddaughter's condition. You have a village who is able to take care of her when you deserve a break. But in the moment, Britt decides to make this about her, so that her and Shamia can have a kumbaya moment for them to squash all of their issues, because what you have going on is way more important than what we have going on. I am so sorry. But us being here for you, we are your village. This is a sisterhood. I know you're not in Atlanta right now, but we got you, okay? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I swear to God. I understood Britt's intentions in this moment. I know she had the best intentions, but she just came off like she was trying to have a moment. She was giving off a monologue. I just didn't like it. It was just too much. Bring it down a bit, Britt, please. And then in the end, she said, you know what? I'm being here for you right now. As your sister, I'm going to take a shot of tequila just for you. That's what I'm going to do. They all laugh. Kelly, ready, willing to grab a bottle. Britt's like, pour me a double, bitch. I swear. It was funny. funny. It was funny, but it was like, oh my God, Britt, okay, tone it down. And then while she took a shot, like this is our truce, and then all of a sudden, we just see Britt flashes with her titties. She plops them on the countertop, and obviously there were more that was shown because we saw the Lay's reaction of Britt pretty much taking off all her clothes. Didn't want to show us, but they got a whole show. So Britt, you are so comfortable. You went and got undressed with all these ladies that you really don't know, but you really are a fun time girl, are you? Oh my God. I'm like, okay, well, that's all it ended off with. A happy note of us seeing Britt's body. Okay. Oh, the episode wasn't bad. The episode was kind of okay. Next week, we're going to get more of the breakdown between Kelly and Britt's friendship, which I cannot wait to get into. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.